Okay, hi, hello everyone. I hope you can see me and hear me well. Welcome. Welcome to this 36th Pan-European Conference on Digital Education. It is again the last Thursday of the month, and we are together at this co-creative and learning international event. I can see your comments. I am saying hello from Slovenia to the comfort of your own homes. I can see some comments from Romania, from Moldova, from Peru, and so on. So yes, hi and welcome to those who are here every month, and also to those who have tuned in maybe for the first time. We have 4 presentations today with 5 presenters, and I would now like to present the titles of today's conference, and later we will of course also meet our presenters so that they can say a little bit about themselves before actually listening to their presentations. Okay, so first presentation is Connected Learning, Implementing International and Intercultural Online Student Collaboration focused on 21st century skills. We have Beata and Katarzyna from Poland presenting. And then the next presentation will be Differentiation in Introducing New Concepts from Croatia, Ivana Miletić. The Power of Engagement in English Classes, it's a third presentation from Nina Klemen Blatnik from Slovenia. And then last but not least, we have the 4th presentation with the title Education Online Without Borders from Alina from Romania. Okay, so these are today's titles. I would like to remind you that all the presentations are already available at the Pan-European Conference Facebook group. If you are not a member yet, you can join there and you will get all the updates, and also you can download the presentations from today's conference. Okay. So now I would like to invite our actual presenters into the studio. So we have Katarzyna, Beata, Ivana, Nina, and Alina.
Hello.
Okay, hi. So maybe in the order of today's presentation, we have Katarzyna. Hi. So welcome, and we have also Beata. Hi.
Hello.
So yeah, a few sentences, maybe if you can present yourself.
Sure, Beata, start.
My name is Beata Mirecka-Jakubowska. I'm actually a third culture kid that turned third culture adult. And I have been in education for nearly 4 decades, teaching English at international schools. I taught in Greece for a while, and then for many decades in Indonesia. And I recently set up an intercultural educational consulting group. And I've been working on several educational projects using IT tools. And you will hear about one of those projects today with Kasia. So Kasia.
Okay. Okay, hi everyone. My name is Katarzyna Pelc, and I have been an English teacher for about 22 years now. I teach mainly in a Polish state school. Apart from teaching teenagers, I'm also a certified teacher trainer, and my area is competence development and recognition. I also run courses on formative assessment, and I participate in many international projects. And I just want to add that the project that Beata and I are going to talk about is, for me, one of the best and one of the innovative, the most innovative ones. Thank you.
Okay, that's great to hear. Okay, thank you. Maybe we can continue with the second presenter, Ivana.
Hi everyone, my name is Ivana Miletić, and I teach English and Italian in Prirodoslovna Škola Split in Split, Croatia. My students are 15 to 18 years old, and their study focus is science, chemistry, biology, maths, and physics. I've been teaching for 15 years, and I'm a teacher mentor, and I'm looking forward to telling you something about the things I do in my classroom.
Okay, thank you. We are looking forward to it too. Okay, so we have Nina. Hi.
Yes, hello, hi, and greetings from Slovenia. I'm an English teacher in a primary school. Now I teach from 1st to 3rd grade, so that means children from 6 to 9 years old. But in my previous school, I teach children from 1st to 5th grades and from 6 to 11 years old. I'm also the researcher in the topic of differentiated instructions for teaching English for young learners. I do my doctoral dissertation at the University of Primorska, so the Faculty of Education, and I'm really in this problem about differentiation. So maybe you will hear today a lot also about this, and that this topic was also the reason why I decided today to talk about the engagement and to connect them, and you will see if it's important, because all the teachers said that differentiation, it's too time consuming to use and it's not alive in the classroom. So you can also write me down how is maybe in your country if you use differentiation, or you also think it's too time consuming. So this was the reason that I decided for this to empower us.
Okay, thank you. Yes, of course, we also invite all our presenters to put the comments and questions into the chat, and we will then tell to you. Okay, so we have also our fifth presenter, Alina from Romania. Hi.
Hello, I'm Chelaru Alina. I'm from Romania. I teach in a gymnasium school. She's called Ion Vișoiu teacher. I teach actually at primary school, and I have an experience about 22 years in teaching in primary school. Today I'm going to talk to you about education online without borders, a program that was mentoring teachers and was in benefit of the children, of course, and all the project that we did in collaboration with Moldavia and Spain and Turkey, and my experience with Erasmus. Thank you.
Okay. Okay, so thank you very much. Before going to the our first presentation, I would just like to say a few things also to those who are listening at home. So, of course, you are more than welcome to pose any questions, any comments, your experience into the comments on our YouTube and Facebook page, where the conference is live streamed, so that we can ask the presenters at the end of presentations. Also, I will put the link for the certificate of attendance of the conference into the comments multiple times during the conference. Just remember that it is valid for 24 hours from today, so until tomorrow. And at the end, of course, you will also get a link for the evaluation of the conference. Okay, so yeah, without further ado, I would now leave the stage to Beata and Katarzyna. Okay. Will you share the screen?
Of course. Okay, can you see it?
Okay, just a second. Okay, yes, we can see it. Okay, the stage is all yours.
All right. So let me tell you first about the inspiration for the project that Kasia and I are involved in today. This is actually my original education endeavor that I started about 6 years ago. It was called Connect to Learn. And I'm an IB English B teacher. So I wanted to enable my IB English B students to learn English with other students from other parts of the world. So I created this online thematic unit, actually 3 units, which were connected to the topics that were in the new syllabus for the exam 2020. Okay, and what happened before was that many teachers are often reluctant to participate in such connections because they say that they don't have time, they have a curriculum to run. And so, that's all clearly very understandable, but this is precisely why these units were based on the prescribed IB English B curriculum. You can peruse it later on through the link or the QR code if you teach IB English B classes. The units are open to everyone at this point. But for now, the point here is that the curriculum-based connected learning, that is the important element in our current project that we're going to be talking about today. Okay, Kasia?
Okay. All right. So I met Beata online about 6 years ago when I stumbled upon her excellent blog, which you can see on the screen, and which is called Oczkiem w edukację. Obviously, it's in Polish, but I was actually fascinated and absolutely drawn into the quality of her posts and also to the subject matter that she was tackling in them. And it was then that I, for example, found out about the growth mindset, about metacognition, about the importance of 21st century skills, and many more. So, and then I think it was on Beata's Facebook group that I saw the invitation aimed at the secondary school teachers to get involved into Connect to Learn project. And since I really love challenges and I saw a huge potential behind it, I decided to join it. And since I'm here, you can gather that I was not disappointed. Actually, I can tell you that I think that I won't exaggerate if I say that it was a truly transforming and important experience for me. And why is that? Okay, so please listen and you will find out. Okay.
So Connected Learning is the new project that we have that we're presenting today. The subtitle is Implementing International Intercultural Online Student Collaboration, focused on 21st century skills. So here you can see the website of our of that project, which involves 2 schools in Poland, and of course Kasia's school is one of them, and 1 school in Iceland, as well as other partners. And it started in April 2022. It will be running until April 2024. After which all of the intellectual outputs we create will be available for free to all teachers who wish to use them and implement them and implement this connected learning methodology in their high school English classes. It is aimed for high school students, but we think that perhaps 7th or 8th graders could also take advantage of this. So the major idea here is to provide teachers with innovative ways of engaging their students in learning the English language in a collaborative way, using the online tech tools, and in the process, of course, learning a number of these skills and competencies that are really needed for life after school, right? And on the website, you can read about the partners involved in the collaboration and view the reports and photos of the online meetings, as well as live meetings in Iceland and in Poland. So now Kasia will tell you a little bit more about the project itself.
Right. Okay, so on the project website, in the menu, our project and in blog, you will find the frequently asked questions section in case of any problems, right? So you will find here answers to some general and also more specific questions, ranging from, for example, what is the goal of our project? Who are the modules aimed at? How do you find a school to collaborate with? How do you get started? What else? What is a strengths finder, analyzer, and also connected learning webinar, and where you can find them on our platform. And how do you sign up for the Facebook connected learning group aimed at teachers? So you can see the questions on the screen. And now let me take you on a short virtual tour of our collaborative modules, which are like the heart of this project, of course. So here is the homepage. Right on. So on the right, you can see the general information. On the right, if you click, you can go to the important information for students, for teachers, and this information focuses mainly on how do you set up and what are the goals of the modules. And then there was a short bit about the tech tools, but I'm going to go back to it later on. And now you can see the actual modules appearing. There are 8. We will create 8 at the end of our project. 2 of them, food and culture, are already there. I'm sorry. Right. Yes, so next 4, travel, residence, I think it is shopping and identity, are the modules that are under construction at the moment, and there will be 2 more coming soon. And as we scroll down, you can see the information about the grant that our project is financed from. Right, now let's move to the first module that is ready, food, and as you click, you will find the topic, the subtopics, also the lexical resources and key grammar that are going to be practiced, as well as the language level at which of our students, right? Then you can see the 8 lessons. Each model consists of 8 lessons, an IB extension if you need it, and at the very top, the list of 21st life skills, and also the reflection part where students can practice their metacognitive skills, which we believe are very important. Okay, now lessons 1 and 2, called the Emerging Ingredients, where students had to pick a culture-specific ingredient, do research on it with some guiding questions, and then create a 2 5-minute video and upload it in Flip for other students to see and comment. Apart from the language skills, they practice critical thinking, information literacy, and technology literacy as specified on the website. And again, communication, collaboration, also the metacognition part with some questions for them to think about. And let's move on to questions to lessons 6, 7, 8, Your Move, where students had to pick one of the future foods that they read in an article earlier on. They had to think if any of those future foods could be adapted onto on their country's market, think about the arguments, then pair up with students from other schools, from other cultures, and work together on a formal letter aimed at one of the companies in their countries, persuading the producers to produce this food in their countries. We, of course, gave them some success criteria for it, and as before, a whole range of soft skills were developed. Yes, at the end of each model, you can see the pink part is like a big metacognition part on the whole of the unit, both for students and for teachers, and also where they can give some feedback. Now, tech tools is like a whole library of the tools, digital tools that are used in all of the modules. You can see the names, you can click on the tutorials if you're not familiar familiar with them, to learn how to use them, and your students as well. And there is also a description of all those tools. We believe that these tools are really up-to-date, useful. Our Icelandic partners actually recommended this to us, and they use them on everyday basis in their work, because their school works in the online and blended learning fashion mostly. And a brief look now at the resources for students, which we think are really important. So they will find the rules of etiquette there, of how to behave online, as well as some ready-to-use phrases in their comments. So that's all for me for the time being. And now I give the floor to Beata. Oh, no.
So this is a webinar, the beginning of a webinar that we are compiling. It is just a little brief glimpse into what the webinar is going to be about. It will be connected with the Strengths Finder Analyzer tool. So that's something that is almost ready for sharing.
We cannot continue to educate our students for our past.
The responsibility of the students' education goes more towards them, and we are not the knowledge bank anymore.
It's the toolbox that's necessary for both the teacher and the student, I would say.
So it's self-paced and self-managed. For something new in technology, and I knew we had to do something different from the old habits.
If I was able to do it, you will be able to do it too.
This is my 10th year and I love it.
I know. I've been doing this in my own classes for many years.
Technology in the class should simply support students in completing their tasks.
You can learn from every situation and deliver a much better lesson next time.
Okay.
Right. So what we would like to do is to invite you to the next collaborative learning opportunity for students to connect and to learn together. This time it's going to happen between April 17th and April 28th. So if you are interested, or if you think that maybe the English teachers at your school are interested, or that you maybe have friends in different countries, it would be best if you or your English teacher colleagues could sign up with the Facebook group by April 10th, because you do need to familiarize yourselves with the materials and proceedings, and to set up the multicultural groups of students to collaborate on the tasks. We are going to be testing again the food and culture units. This opportunity to collaborate can also serve as a wonderful and free professional development opportunity for teachers, because both the Facebook group and the module site include a lot of practical tips for teachers to use in their classes, regardless of the collaboration. So you'd be able to help students practice a variety of skills and competencies. Sasha?
Yes. Okay. So if we have any time left, we kindly ask you to, to write your questions in the comments. We will be glad to answer them now or later.
Maybe you can come up with one question that you can put in the chat. I don't know if there are any questions so far.
Okay, so thank you for the presentation, and of course, we encourage all the participants to take a step into the collaboration, as you suggested. For the moment, we don't have any questions, but sometimes they also come at the end, so you will either way stay with us also with the during other presentations. So I will let you know about the questions. Did you want to add anything else for now, or?
I don't know. I just, as a teacher myself with 20 years of experience, I can only say that I do encourage students are really happy to do something else outside from the textbooks. They get involved. One of my students even got a reply to the letter I was talking about. It was like it was amazing for her because she could see that it works, that it is real communication. So, yeah, please don't hesitate. Yeah, join us.
Okay. It really works. Yes, this kind of collaboration really works, and it does allow students to not only expand their horizons and meet with other teenagers from around the world, but also learn the skills of collaboration, of teamwork, of time management, of their own ability to monitor their engagement as well, and of course a lot of the metacognition skills that they can practice. That's really very important for their lives later on.
Yeah, definitely.
Yeah, for sure. And yes, so they are saying that the presentation was very interesting, and that they thank you for the opportunity to also learn from your experience. So congratulations also from my side, from the good work you do. And thank you for now. We will then continue also with the other
Okay, one more thing perhaps. The collaboration that we have right now between April 17th and 28th is just one of many. We are going to have more collaborative groups working together from September when we finish the next units, the next thematic units. So it does make sense to get into the Facebook group, even if you are not ready to connect yet. Just to be there and to be thinking about it, and perhaps watching others being very enthusiastic about their classes, collaborating and working really very well.
There was actually they are asking for the link to see all your project results, and especially the online teaching tools.
Yes, that's available when they join the Facebook group.
Okay, so to Emilio and also to those who are questioning, you heard the answer. Yeah, they are asking for the link for the collaboration, and yes, to see your project results. Okay, so thank you very much for now, and I'll see you at the end as well.
Sure.
Okay, so we are now going to our second presentation, and we have with us Ivana Miletić. Hi, Ivana.
Hi.
Hi. So will you share your screen, or should I add the presentation?
Okay. I started sharing my screen.
Okay. Yeah. Wait. like this. Can you? Okay. Okay. So can you see it?
Yes, I can see it. If you can see it, I can start.
Yes, we can see it. So you can start.
Okay, thank you very much. So once again, my name is Ivana Miletić, and I'm going to talk about differentiation in introducing new concepts. So everybody knows that whoever has this task of trying to educate someone has to constantly work on finding new ways to keep the learners motivated, whether it's young learners, pupils, students, adults, or maybe even your colleagues. In this presentation, I'm going to make a list of different ways that you can start talking about some new concepts, try to elicit the words, expressions, definitions, or examples, and you can use these ideas slightly differently, even if you want to revise or check the understanding of certain issues. Luckily, these days, we've got a bunch of digital tools that can help us, but you can also use some old-fashioned cards, paper and scissors activities, or just as I said, you can differentiate to keep them paying attention, and you can use both. So the question that I found myself asking was how to differentiate the introduction of new concepts because I wanted to keep my students motivated. I believe that motivation is essential and that it's the driving force behind a person's behavior. So it has to be activated to achieve a certain goal. And I believe that both the educator's goal and the learner's goal is quite similar because they both want some good results. They want overall acquisition of skills, increase of competences, and so on. So by diversifying our teaching process, we show that we care about the different learners' needs because different learners learn best in different ways. So this is my first tip. I've noticed that a lot of learners find it extremely motivating if they have to compete, whether it's individually or in pairs or in teams. So you can use some flashcard makers, memory card makers to introduce new concepts. These concepts can be brand new to learners, and that could make the game really thrilling for them. So they have to think of the context that these new these new concepts can be used in. They try to guess the meaning. They try to isolate the word stem, the prefix, suffix. They have to figure out the meaning of the word. They develop their cognitive skills as well. So even if your learners are not competitive, maybe you can motivate them by giving them some extra credit, extra points, less homework maybe, or simply a candy will do, and a candy doesn't work only with young learners. Even the seniors are really excited when they have to get a candy. So this is my tip number 2. So learners often think that they are familiar with some concept, but when they have to explain the concept, when they have to explain it in details, put the concept in relation with another word, they find themselves in trouble. So you can create a table like this with the concepts in the first column, or you can use some digital tools to make word forks. I suggest using just the word.com or Scoala engine, sketch engine, and so on. As for the tip number 3, well, actually, this is my favorite one. I make my students draw a tree at the beginning of every unit, or it can be the beginning of a new month. I tell them to go to final pages of their notebook and they draw a tree. And once they learn a new concept or a new word, they have to draw a leaf with the word on the leaf. And at the end of the unit or at the end of the month, they go back to their trees. We check the understanding of these words written on the leaves. So the goal is actually to make them aware of the fact that they have made progress. So those concepts on the leaves were unfamiliar to them maybe days or weeks back. And once they understand that they know that they have made progress, they actually make their self-assessment. They feel proud of themselves. And if you want to use digital tools, if you don't want your learners to start drawing, you can use the digital tools that teachers usually use to make mind maps. So you can make a mind map with the central concept in the middle, or it can be the title of the unit, or I don't know, October, November, or the name of the month, and you can add these new concepts to the central word. As for the following tip, you can check the comprehension of the new concept by asking your students to categorize and organize information. You can use different digital tools like wearable learning apps or different tools, or you can literally take some boxes and paint them in different colors, or put symbols of Hogwarts houses or some brands or whatever your students prefer, and make these categories. You have to provide different items that have to be put in different categories. And for example, if you teach literature, maybe you could write a list of different novels and poems and ask your students to put them next to the boxes with the names of the poets or writers. If you teach history, maybe you can ask them to categorize the events from the earliest maybe to the latest happening. If you teach biology, you can make a list of insects and they have to put the smallest insect in the first box and the biggest one in the final box. Well, you're free to do whatever you can do, but you have to motivate them to think and to categorize the information. As for the fifth tip, this is something that my students love. You can make comics or ask your students to make comics. You can use Canva or Toonie tools. You have to set this target concept that has to be used. So your learners have to investigate the target concept. They have to show and prove that they have understood how to use this concept. They get to give an example. Plus, they get to improve their digital skills by doing this as well. As for the following tip, it's tip number 6. So this may seem as something that maybe kindergarten teachers do, but you can make a cube out of paper easily. And then you can write on the sides of it. You can give them this target concept. And then if they toss this dice, if one side says synonym, they have to provide synonym for the word, antonym, and so on. You can ask questions. Why is this important? What is this concept used for? What are its main characteristics? And so on. If you're a biology teacher, you can write down questions on the sides of the cube, like what organs help people breathe, how do frogs breathe, how do fish breathe, and so on. If you're a history teacher, then again, you can write down questions like when and where did this event take place on one side, and then on the second one, what were the consequences of this event, and similar. As for my following tip, you can always use true and false exercises. many tools can be used, and I've named only 2 here, even though there are numerous digital tools that you can use. Or the old-fashioned strategy, you can cut out pieces of paper with words or sentences, and they have to think whether the sentences are, and say whether they are true or false. You can turn it easily into a competition or into find a mistake and correct it activity and similar. As for the tip number 8, you can ask them to decipher something. You can have some secret messages written by using snotes.com or CodePen. It's easily done, and maybe they could get different clues that contain different parts of the definition, and they have to rearrange the clues to get the correct solution. As for the tip number 9, it's realia. It's actually real objects, different objects that can be used to introduce new words and associations. Even though you can find different things on YouTube, this is what I usually do. These are the tickets that I collected. Whenever I travel abroad or go somewhere, I get the restaurant bills, the train tickets, metro tickets, and so on, and I show them to my students, and different objects can be used to learn these new concepts, and these things are really interesting for them to see the real thing. As for the following tips, well, this is just the top of the iceberg. We can go on up to tip number 100, 200, 500. So the following tips that you can use is the introduction of a new word or a new picture every new lesson. You can use songs, of course, to introduce new subjects or some gestures, mime, and so on. So finally, what it comes down to is that you have to slightly differentiate, and you have to change these activities according to the time frame. So it's not the same if you have 10 minutes for an activity, if you've got 45 minutes or more. It all, of course, depends on the age of the learners and the number of participants. So sometimes you're working in a class of 10, sometimes 20, 40, 50 different learners. Sometimes you're working online, sometimes you're working in a non-digital environment, so you have to adjust. And what matters is your overall goal of the activity, whether it's self-assessment or formative assessment, maybe even improving social skills, enhancing some team spirit among the group, maybe it's revision. So there are different things that you have to pay attention to when deciding what to do in your class. So I'm here in case you have some questions. If you want to add something, I'm here. I'm going to listen, try to answer your questions. Plus, I've added this QR code with a short survey feedback. So I would like to hear your opinion on the tips.
Yeah. Hi, Ivana.
Hi.
So thank you for your presentations. Yeah, they're saying that it's very interesting and useful as well. We also have 2 questions. So first, Jana is asking, so thank you for great presentation. And then her question is, how much time it takes to prepare so thoroughly for a single class?
Okay, it takes a lot of time. So I don't get to do these things every single class because I can't, because we got the curriculum, we got different things we have to do in the classroom. But once I spend maybe 2 or 3 hours doing something, then I can repeat the same thing maybe in 1 month, and it takes maybe 20 minutes if you do it for the second time, third time, and so on. So actually, that's how I spend my summer break. So I take a bit of every day, and I prepare these things so that I can have this heap of different things I can do during the school year. Yes, it does take a lot of time, but once you do it, you've always got something that you can use in the classroom. And once you get to see that your students are motivated, and once you see that they feel that they've learned something, it's worth it.
Okay, yeah, she said that it seems quite demanding, but yeah, as you explained it very well, your answer. Also, she has another question, and the question is, how do you deal with those students who, for any reason, are reluctant to participate in this kind of competition in class because everybody is naturally fearing to be a loser, she says.
Okay, I agree. There's always someone who maybe some students are not competitive, as I said. Maybe some students are having a bad day. I can understand this, but I always try to put them in different teams, in teams of people that will push them forward, that will ask of them to participate. Obviously, I can't ignore the fact that someone is not doing the task. So I try to help if the person is reluctant to participate because he or she feels that they lack knowledge to do the task. So I try to find out the reason behind it, and that's what I try to do.
Okay, so thank you very much for your answer. And thank you also for the presentation. So that is it. Congratulations once again.
Thank you.
Okay, so goodbye, Ivana. And now we are going to our third presentation of today's conference. We are welcoming Nina Klemen Blatnik. Hi, Nina.
So, hi again.
Okay.
Share it.
Okay, will you share the screen, right?
Yeah.
Okay.
Okay, entire screen maybe. We'll see. Can you see the presentation now?
Just a second. Yes, it came in. Okay. Okay, now we can see. Okay, so if you are ready, you can start.
Yes. Okay, and hello again. As I said before, I'm going to talk about the power of engagement in English classes. And when I think it's not good to talk about engagement without your engagement, so if you've got your mobile phones near you, you can just scan this QR code and write down a few words that you think that are connected with engagement. So like a brainstorming, maybe you can just write down the 4 words that came in your mind in a second or few. So I'll stay here in that page so they can scan the QR code and write down, and later we'll see the results. So I talked about a little bit why I started to think about engagement. So I'm very grateful that Ivana was before me and talked about differentiation. And we came to the same conclusion as before, that the differentiation, it's not so often used, and because that can be very time consuming. And that was the reason, because a few months ago, I was in one conference here in Slovenia, and one of my colleagues, so one of doctoral students in the University of Ljubljana, who also works in the same topic as me, but in another university, have the presentation, and at the end they said, yeah, it's very time consuming, there is a lot of work for a teacher. And at that moment I said, oh no, again, because why we do this? Because if it's so time consuming and we'll not use it again. So I started to think about and try to find a way how to put it in another way, how to look at a differentiation in a way that it can be used in a classroom. And then the main idea was that maybe that come on my mind that engagement is really the right thing, because as you know, you can write me down later in a chat how is in your country, but here in Slovenia the teachers talk about a lot there, the students are not motivated, they are bored, we got a lot of behavior problems in the classroom. So I said, okay, that's not good. They can just sit down and they can, I don't know, sleep or dream, and it's not good. So we have to woke them up and say, hey, hello, be active. And if we as a teacher try to give them in the situation they have to be active, we haven't got so much behavior problems, as I can see later. So as we can see here on this picture, this was the way of teaching that was usual here in Slovenia, and I think also in other countries. And now we are here that we can ask our students walk around, but teachers and still stay down on their own places. They are not motivated, we've got behavior problems and so on. And also the classes here in Slovenia are each year more different, more multi-level, more mixed ability. And because this is a problem, so we have to find a solution. And I think that their engagement is a good solution with it, because the people who are not motivated, who are not engaged, are not motivated. If you think about it, you can write it down. You can write it down also, maybe your story about it. When you do something where and which thing you was not motivated in, and then when you do the things you are motivated in, so you put more effort in it, you are more responsible for the things that you do. So this is the reason that I think that it's a good way, and that you don't wait for opportunities, but you have to create as we as a teacher are creators. So we have to create the opportunities for children, the different ways how to engage them, and in other ways, so to put them the responsibility to do something, not that just we have a lot of work and they just sit down on the class. So here are the results of this short brainstorming. Engagement is understanding, collaborative spirit. Yes, the collaboration is very important here. Main needs meet, absolutely. Motivation, fun, action, passion. As we can see, there is a lot of positive words, respect, understanding. Yeah, engagement is really all this. If we can see on the different types of engagement, you see that there is not just that we cognitively engage them, and that we can, as a teacher, we have to make them curious, and that they talk about us or about their interests, and that are emotionally engaged, behaviorally engaged. As I said before, when I start with these activities, I haven't got so much behavior problems anymore. So they collaborate, as you mentioned before. Yes, it's very important that they can do as a group, not just as individuals, because in the society, it's a lot of individuals nowadays. I think it's not good. We have to connect the students from one class together. They have to collaborate, and they feel this feeling of we as a class, not just I and me. That are physically engaged, absolutely, it's especially important for young students, but not for just for the young one, also from the bigger students, also at the university, you can make them that they move and they will enjoy. I know. And then the cultural engagement. Here in Slovenia, we've got on the 8th of February, we've got the cultural, so one of the national holidays, it's Prešeren's Day. Franz Prešeren was one of the greatest poets here and was written the Slovenian national anthem. So we read the Slovenian national anthem in Slovene, and then I sang them in English. At the end of this, the students who came from different countries would like to listen to their national anthems, and it was really, really a great time. So we listened to the national anthems of Italy, Russia, Ukraine, and they really enjoy and they feel very satisfied because they are the part of the lesson. And how to engage the learners, I just quickly present to you. This is my model of differentiated instructions, who has got the three cornerstones, so curricula, students, and the teacher. And we have to engage students with all of their knowledge, skills, motivation, attitudes. They have different experience, interests, and learning preferences. And we don't have to forget on us as a teacher, because we also have different skills, different knowledge. And it's very good if you get one skill that you're very good on it. I don't know if you play a guitar or something. It's very important that you come in the class with a guitar, you can play the song, and the children will really enjoy. Also, when you will tell them some stories from your life, and you will feel then more connected. And the planning for differentiated instructions, we gather information about our students, setting goals, engaging learners, and that is also the part when the students can be engaged. Usually the students are not engaged in our lesson planning, but I think this part is also important. And it's also important that they are engaged also in the last part, so in the reflection, evaluation, if you like that they make an optimal progress. So the ways to engage the learners, when we talk about the gathering information with the younger students, you can just put in the pictures connected to the topic. Here is the topic body parts. And then at the beginning, we say this is a kind of pre-assessment. They can just color the words that they already know. And at the end, they can also color the words they have learned. So it's very good, and they color all the words. And they color all the words, you can just set them, okay, you know them, so now you draw the other words that you don't know and you would like to learn. So this is the way how they can be engaged. They can draw and each of them will draw something else here. And about when we're gathering information, it's very, very also very good when you have an individual interviews with them. So 1 minute with each student, and then we're very proud that you as a teacher take that 1 minute and talk just to him and just to her, and write down maybe just few information, what are their interests, what are their free time activities, and then use later on, and they are really satisfied. Then when we talk about the planning lessons and setting goals, it's very good when you engage them with this activity. So my goal for the week is, or can be my goal for the month is, it depends how many lessons have you got in a week. So that they write down their own goals. So you choose it. These are the personalized goals. But it's very important that you talk a lot about how to set these goals. Here is a SMART goals. These goals must be specific, measurable, attainable, realistic, and timely. That they know that they can't write down, I would like to speak fluently, because it's not possible in just 1 week. And then you put to them like this stars or something else, smileys, and they can say, okay, on Monday I do this, and the way to reach my weekly or a monthly goal. So here is kind of lesson planning. It's same as lesson planning. You can gather information. So I write down my ideas, and then I also ask students about what material sources they would like, which stories do they like, which songs do they like, and they can have really good ideas. As we said, when we talk about it's also important when we talk about differentiation, or also in other cases, that we make an engagement learning environment so that they know they are safe there. They are as a group, that the other students will not laugh to them and they will say something stupid, or so they can take time. And this is one of the exercises that we make it so that they can trust each other. So one of them lay down and the other one can walk and jump around it. And here it's also very important that you as a teacher can lay down also, and that they can jump and walk around you. Maybe it's a little bit scary at the beginning, but they're really satisfied that they can do it with you. So sorry. Then when we talk about the content and how to engage our students, so the content have to be related to students and have to be useful for them, that they see that they can use these things later on. So they can choose the topic. So you can say, okay, I've got 5 topics. You can choose one of them. They'll be really satisfied when they said, okay, we choose it. So they'll put more effort in it. They'll be more enthusiastic. They will do these things. Or also the story. I don't know, when you talk about animals, you can put in the classroom a few different stories, and then they can just vote with raising their hands to choose one. About personalization of vocabulary, we talked before with these pictures of body parts. So usually we make also the posters, and these posters are like a kind of scaffolding. We put it on the wall in their classroom, and they can see there. If they don't know the word, you can stand up and go there. So here you can see the poster they made on the animals. So cow, pig, dog, and it's in a way of a Minecraft, from this Minecraft game. So they can also make the summary of main topics. So at the end of the one topic, a few students can write down the words they have learned and all the things. So put all the things they have learned in one way, then we can make just a copy. So there are all the things that they are active, and we as a teacher don't have so much work. So to include different cultures, we talk about it before when I tell you the story about the national anthems. Then they can make board games and flashcards. Here is one of the board games. They are just the start and then the small sheets of paper. On one sheet of paper are written the Slovenian word, and when you come there, you just have to tell the English one, or this is the toughest version, and the easiest version is that in the other side of this worksheet is written just the English word, and then you can translate it to Slovene, and this is easier. So it's also here a differentiation. So you're good. And you can do the flashcards themselves. So just talk about animals, different furs of animals. And also the content, pictures and dialogue. So I can give you, I give them such picture and empty places, and then put them in the group, and then make the conversation in front of their schoolmates. And I wrote down all the conversation and then just type them on their computer. And there's conversations also on different levels. So for the next time, or from the next lessons, we've got something that they can read and put to the right picture. So different learning path, like a peer teaching. These are the first graders who learned numbers from 1 to 10. They can count, and 1 can help the other one who can't count, and they can do it together. Here is the peer teaching in the second grade about me. So this student has now to read all the things about my name is and teaches his to schoolmates how to do it because they don't know how to pronounce it. And this is the peer teaching, and the 8th graders come to our class, read us the stories, make the different exercises and quizzes for them. It's very good experience, but unfortunately the teachers of other subjects didn't understand us so well, so because there was not in their lessons, and there was a big problem. Yeah, but this is the difference between the teachers with a fixed mindset. And so, okay, I hope that we will can do it again, maybe next year. So drama, this is an almost turnip, and they can be engaged at the turnip, they can change to another, I don't know, carrot, and they are not grandfather, grandmother, and granddaughter, but they can be a dog. They can choose which animal or family member they could be. Okay, and here is we talk about that engagement is also collaboration. This is miming game, a group's miming game, and they can show different seasons. Learning outcomes, so students make exercises for schoolmates, better students when they stop with their task. I say, okay, you can make the exercises on this topic for your schoolmates, and this is one example. This is a crossword, connections to the satellite, rocket, astronauts, and so on. So they can write their own poem as an outcome. So if you know the song Brown Bear, what do you see? And here is their version. I put them the pictures, and then they have to color them. And it was then they design a different song. So yellow duck, what do you see? And so on. Or you can just draw their own song. So this is for the best one. Oral presentation, multiple choice for the gray from the oral presentation mark. They have got 4 things. They can be a weather reporter, they can make a fashion show, or make an interview. So you can choose and whatever they think that's better for the best for them. Okay, and there Ben says that kind of teaching is very interesting. It depends on these things that I work with this student from 8th grade, because it is something new. They learned many in many ways in smaller groups. Robin says that is very more relaxed because Thea is not a real teacher. So, but it was very nice, very obedient. There was no behavior problems also when Thea teaches them. And that's good. Also in a reflection, analyze and evaluation, students can evaluate teachers, not just teachers, can evaluate students, that the students evaluate other students, and so on, so in all of different ways. So it's good that we inform each other, that we talk to each other, that we share, discuss, plan together, we decide together, and I think that we can make an optimal progress then, be more motivated, more engaged, and more responsible. And it's important to do it step by step, not all at once. And I think that for teacher, there is not so much work, but you just have to have good ideas. So when I talk about engagement and evaluation, here you can also scan this code again and just write down something about what do you think about my presentation, if it was something useful, if you got any questions and so on. So you can write me, email me also on nina.blatnik@gmail.com. And so thank you for listening. Merci. And danke for all this.
Thank you, Nina, very much for your presentation. It was nice to see such collaborative spirit and all the things that you do. Yes, the presenters are saying that it was very interesting, and then thank you for all the information. Somebody also asked what application did you use for the presentation that you had?
It was Canva. I really like it.
Yes, it's very useful.
Yeah, very.
And yeah, that the presentation was very beautiful. So also to everyone who is following, if you have scanned the QR code to evaluate, and yes, I can also share your email into the comments. So if anyone will have any question for Nina or would like to connect with her, you are more than welcome to do so.
Yes.
Okay, so thank you for now. And now we are going to our last presentation. We have Alina with us.
Hello.
Hi, Alina.
Then
Hello.
please help
Okay.
me with the presentation to open.
Yes, of course. I will add your presentation to the stream. Can you see it?
Yes, thank you very much.
Okay.
I was so glad that I saw so many interesting things. I'm going to present you Education Online Without Borders. It was a program that it's about 3 years now running for teachers. I collaborated, of course, with Moldavia because the idea came from Daniela Munca, that is the director of the innovation and creativity for education in Moldavia, and she asked for help when we were in pandemic period to find mentors for other teachers that needed, of course, to learn how to teach in online system because pandemic closed the schools, of course. I had a team with 5 other mentors, and this is our page of Facebook, and we were together teaching each of us one or three application or platforms, and of course my Facebook page was sending them emails, and they were announced how to when to come in, and we have webinars for free for teachers, and we had some evaluation because they had to do online and individual 150 hours to prepare a program. I had a start before because I was part of an Erasmus called All for School, School for All, in Spain, and I saw, of course, so many interesting things and teaching with Bluebot or CubeMarch or Light Table for children with disabilities, and it was a great experience because I learned so much, and I share it to other teachers, of course. We had to teach teachers to use Canva. I talked to them about Class Dojo. That was a platform online. You can have a catalog for your students. You can put their homeworks, and you can upload them, or you can give them points. Facebook was the communication page, of course. Some other colleagues presented word art and Steam games, or how to make a movie, or Livresk platform that was presented by Ivana Timaru. Steam was by Ana Bordishor and Olesea Ipati that were from Moldavia. Ivana was from Romania with me, and with Camelia Burianu, who presented word art. I presented also how to create a story jumper, that is a book, online book for children and for teachers. Canva was presented by Ivana Timaru, and I also presented Class Dojo, I said, and how to transform from a PowerPoint or a PDF, how to say, in platform Calameo, how to turn into a book. they had to present also. We had meetings, webinars about 150 hours, I said before, and we had meetings that was preparing the teachers how to use this application or platforms for teaching in online period. I also presented them Teddy Bear, that was a project with Moldavia, a twinning project like for integration and children with disabilities, and it was a project that continued with other schools and still continues for 3 years. Now, for example, we have now in Easter egg hunt project that involves more than 100 teachers from Moldavia and Romania. With Olesa Ipati, that is my colleague from Moldavia. We had also in webinars good example of project because we had to evaluate this project that was presented by them after seeing the webinars and after studying. And this is a project about spring with games and also application used from the library online created by Daniela Muncă from Moldavia, and interactive activities is an extension of this library that has for example, how to teach lessons, games like word war or live worksheet or quizzes. So they have a very good way to inspire in teaching children. This project was followed with Moldavia, Spain, or Turkey, and it was about tradition and custom in a twinning platform that involved teachers from Turkey and Spain and Moldavia. It was about 1 year project, and we had to talk about tradition. For example, Spain explained us about Flamingo Day or Culture Week. Moldavia talked about Thanksgiving Day because it's a teacher of English. Olesa Ipati, I talked about traditional dance, hora, or we created some things that were recycling from materials, of course. It is a program that involves children, and we have a goal to include all children with disabilities and to diminuate violence or absenteeism, to drop out students that from some other reason they don't come to school, and we have to do so many things to diminuate this dropout school. Teachers had to participate, to attend webinars, and to be involved in this program using digital application from online library. It is a very good source of inspiration for all the children. We have to say that all the webinars were free. We all were looking for solution to teach and to bring students smile, because they also had to endure staying indoors like us in COVID period. These are some useful links for communication, like education online, education interactive, the extension. We have some games here, but I cannot open now because I don't think it's working on PDF. It was only working if I was opening Canva program. We still had to ask the teacher to have that evaluation project with the title of the name of the author and institution, country, the subject, the interactive objective, and curricula that was cross-curricula integration, because all the resources from our page was about integrating and cross-curricular teaching. These are some pictures from each of the teachers that were mentors. Livresc from Oana Timaru. I was about to talk about Story Jumper and Class Dojo platform and Calameo. My colleague was Olesa Ipati, and Ana Boldishor from Moldavia was talking about STEAM teaching, and we continue with this e-twinning project, choosing a logo or having a feast in autumn, presenting our costume, our traditional costume, creating a book from these traditional costumes, we had also some teachers from Spain who came back last year in November, my mistake, in Romania in our school, and we had to prepare some thing that was traditional. This is traditional. Sporukase is named. I don't know how to translate it. These are some pictures from our activity with children, and with Salute online that was on, I think it's about Spain and Romania, Moldavia and Romania, Turkey. We had activity about also cyberbullying, because we had a program with Turkey. This is from Spain, I think, with Cultural Week. This is about the holiday from Spain and Romanian feast, yes, and the custom. We have also an internet project that is Global Climate Action, and we try to diminish pollution, and these are some activities that we do. For example, we painted the t-shirt in Green Week. We have Green Week in Romanian. Sorry, just a moment. We created some posters, and we had some activity that was in a park or observing the nature, because we have to diminish the pollution, and they have to understand that we are the human are responsible for the environment. And this is school poster, and also our activities from this Green Week. I think all the activity that we create and do in partnership with Moldavia or Spain, or on platform e-twinning with Turkey, for example, are involving teachers and children, and we have a good exchange of good practices. And the main goal of this activity is to involve all the children to find and to have solution for integrating, for inclusion, and for dropping out, diminish the dropping out absenteeism for our children. Thank you very much for your attention.
Okay, hi Alina, thank you for your presentation. We have one question from Jana, and she is asking, what criteria would you recommend taking into consideration to choose the right online tool for learning? in order not to be discouraged or confused?
We have to try to choose an activity that is online, that is proper for all the students, if we talk about students, of course, that can involve them and then can engage them in thinking and creativity, of course. But the activities in a class have the main goal to make them to participate in the first place, and to involve and to work together, because working in team is a good example from the teachers that are involving in partnership to the students, of course.
Yeah, so I think you have also partly then answered the next question, which was which is the impact of the project.
Yes, the impact is that we involve teachers, and let's say that so many teachers at the beginning of pandemic period were not prepared for online teaching, and we had to find some solution to help them and to help children that was indoors and were suffering, of course, because after this period they have depression, they have violence, and they have all kind of conduct that is not correct. But we try to involve them and to include them in activities that can be pleasant for them and for teachers, of course.
Yeah, of course. Also, I have just one comment, which was that the projects carried out with the students and the team of teachers are very interesting. So congratulations, and also congratulations for the dress that you are wearing today.
Yes, it's a national, yes, yeah.
Yes, I know. I already now recognize it from the participants of our courses. It's very beautiful.
Thank you very much.
Okay, so thank you, Alina, for the presentation. So we are now actually almost at the end of our conference. I would like to just repeat that all the presentations are already in the Pan-European Conference Facebook group. You can download them. You can find all the useful links, the websites that were mentioned, the QR codes that you were trying to or did already scan, and so on. You can find everything there, and if you are not a member yet, please feel free to join. The next conference is on the 20th of April, okay? So it's one Thursday before the last Thursday, because in Slovenia there is a national holiday next month, so 20th of April. Thank you for those who have so tuned in. I will call once again also to say goodbye to our presenters in the stream. Hi, we have just Ivana had to leave because she had classes. So I wanted to thank you and maybe ask you if you want to add anything else before we say goodbye also to our viewers.
It was a great pleasure to listen to all of the presentations as well. And I already joined the group as well. I wasn't part of it, so I'm very happy to be part of the group on Facebook. And we're hoping that many teachers around the world are going to be using the QR codes, the links, the ideas from all of the presentations.
Yeah, I support what you said, and once again to all the participants, go into the group and see the presentations. Okay, so anyone else you want to say something, or should we say goodbye?
Thank you very much.
Thank you. Thanks for listening, everyone. Yeah.
Yes, thank you to all of you. And of course, we will see you on the 20th of April. Goodbye.
Goodbye.
Bye.